Today, I'd just like to share a little encouragement with you about an area of fitness where I almost gave up. But I'm finally starting to see some progress, and that is the pesky back of the arm area. So if you're thinking that maybe you just reach a certain age or a certain weight and it just can't be done, I'm here to tell you I'm finally seeing some progress. So keep watching and I'll share with you some of the things that I figured out about how you can get toned arms. You'll find some encouragement today. If you like what you hear in the video and find it useful, please remember to subscribe and like and share, leave a comment below, and that helps me out. So anyway, I have always been in the fitness field, and I personally pursue fitness through dance. I've been work as a dancer, and I teach dance class. I've been an aerobics instructor, a ballroom fitness instructor. I had to go online because of the pandemic. I filmed myself from behind, and I saw things were happening back there that I didn't realize. I didn't know was happening until I saw myself with my arms stretched out from the back, and I looked like I was wearing a shawl. It was just my arms hanging down. So I thought, oh, I know how to stay fit. I would just, reach out with my arms as I'm looking, seeing what's happening. I thought I would just clench that muscle, and I went, huh, nothing happened. And I tried harder, and I couldn't move this muscle right here. So that's what happens when you don't use a muscle for most of your life. You hardly ever have to reach back, except if the only thing I can think of is when you're zipping a zipper. And I have to say, I realized that I could never zip my own zipper. Somebody always had to do it for me. So I tried doing what I always had been doing. I tried using light weights. I was following all the fitness videos that I could see, and I still couldn't hold up my arm. It was still hanging down. So I thought, well, this is symptoms of what they call atrophy, which means your muscles waste away, and that can be due to an injury. It can be due to hormonal changes, also be due to lack of exercise. And I thought, I am just not going to give up until I give it one more try. So I learned some things. I figured out movements that will finally reach this muscle here. And I also found that you really have to pick up some heavier weights. So I have always been working with 2.5 pounds. I went up to 3, then 5, and 8, now sometimes 10, and I'm finally starting to see what I wanted to see, which is a little definition and finally this tightening up back here. So I'm here to tell you, if you are discouraged, don't give up, work harder. Your life will be better in the long run. I'm starting to see that I can pick things up more easily, and I feel powerful. I feel like Wonder Woman. Just a little bit. If you look ahead to the rest of your life, you don't want to stop now, because what will it be like 30 years from now when you can do even less and then your arms are hanging down to here? So anyway, pick up your weights, and I'm going to show you my top 4 or 5 exercises that finally got me in touch with the back of my arm. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is, before we're going to work out, we're going to warm up. And I will tell you that I do my exercise very first thing in the morning, because otherwise something always happens, keeps me too busy, interrupts my workout, and I've decided that I'm determined nothing's going to come between me and the backs of my arms. But first you have to warm up, especially since I'm doing this first thing in the morning. My blood's not circulating, and also if you don't warm up, you can pull something, snap something, it will hurt. So we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone here. We're not only warming up our muscles, we're going to crunch together in the back as we do this, because as you know, the back of your arms, your flabby armpits will run back up into back fat and back flab as your muscles get looser. So we want to work the whole thing, okay? Now we're doing, this is like a pony if we're going to do a dance, just pumping up and down. I do want to say that if you have had any sort of an injury or surgery or some kind of condition with your shoulders, you would want to check with your doctor before you start any kind of a workout and make sure that it's not going to hurt you. So now I'm picking up just some light weights. These are 2.5 pounds. And just to get a little more warm, we're going to test out our range of motion here, just down and front and up as far as you can, keeping your arms close together at the top. And so now we're beginning to use a little resistance and also test out our range of motion here. And as with any time that you pick up weights, you want to make sure that you are never just swinging the weights. So I'm taking this nice and slowly. There's no benefit to going faster when you're working with weights because you want to sustain the movement, control the weights, and not ever just let it swing down. And besides, if you use the momentum of the weights to swing your arms, you might take those weights into a place where you don't really have that range of motion, and that again will hurt you. Okay, I'm feeling pretty warmed up, and so when I talk about this armpit muscle back here, it's really just part of your tricep. It's called a tricep because there's 3 parts to it, and the first part is just a little connected to your elbow. There's another part that's connected to the back of your arm, which is where you see this ridge here that shows up when you start working out. And these 2 areas, these 2 muscles work on the same nerve and are pretty easy to access. The part that's connected to your armpit that connects way up here in the back of your arm and runs underneath your arm, that's called the long head part of your tricep, and that's the place where we want to focus. And that's also accessed through a different nerve. So to me, my brain could not access that nerve. And so these are the movements I'm going to show you, which will access those nerves. Now, I don't want to scare you off, but if you read up on it, they say a good way to access the long head muscle is to generate a sustained force, which is a combination of a movement of your elbow and your shoulder together, hence push-ups. Push-ups are really the best way to do it. And I do them first because if I wait to the end, I'm too tired. So I think they're the hardest, and I get them out of the way first. So we're going to start out with diamond push-ups. So you put your fingers together like this. Try to keep your elbows in tight. Don't let your elbows get out to the side. And I put my hands directly underneath my chest. Now, I will tell you, the first time I tried these, I couldn't do one. So if you need to start on your knees and work your way up, there is no better exercise. So keep your stomach, your core pulled in tight. Keep your bum tight. Here we go.
So I am trying for 20 here. And I will tell you, in the past I've always done push-ups, but I've kept my hands and my elbows out to the side. It's much more effective to reach your triceps, to keep your elbows in tight. So keep those pulled in. Make sure you keep your neck loose. Do not let tension come into your neck. If you need to take a breath and a break, and try to keep going. Stay focused on your workout. Don't let other things distract you that you have to do for the rest of the day. Keep breathing. Couple more. And we did it.
I just barely squeezed that out. So take a little rest there. I would say that is my number 1 exercise for reaching this top part of this tricep muscle, which is what's letting you down on the back of your arms. Another thing I want to say as we're catching our breath is that the first time that actually the first couple of times that I tried those diamond push-ups, I was trying to have really good form and trying to keep my head up, keep it in line with my spine. And the first time I tried it, I pulled a bunch of muscles in the back of my neck. I got a migraine. I pulled the muscles all the way up on the back of my head, and that was discouraging. Okay, we're going to do one more kind of push-ups. 20 more, we can do it. This is a modified version of elbow push-ups. As I start out, it feels good to do it anyway. In the morning, a downward dog, pressing your shoulders down towards the floor, a nice flat back. And then from this position, keeping my elbows tight, not letting them go out to the side, I'm going to put my elbows down on the floor and back up. And I'm going for 20 of these.
Now you have to make sure that you have a grippy surface in order to do this. You don't get a good push-up if you feel like your feet are going to slide out. Make sure that you're pushing straight up overhead with your hands, not forward, like someone's saying, stick them up. And keep envisioning how beautiful your arms are going to be wearing tank tops in the summer, and it's all worth it. Getting at these triceps. Couple more. And good.
Good. So your muscles will be getting, the warmer they get, the more you can stretch out, release the cramps that are coming in there. Good. Now we're going to pick up some weights. So, as I said, as I was trying to get in touch with this muscle back here, a lot of the workout things that were happening were getting in touch with these two muscles on the elbow part, which is good for you because, as you know, as I know, you can get baggy elbows. So you want to lift that up, but you also really have to get at this part or you will never pull this up and achieve tightness back there. So I was experimenting with what kind of movements will reach that muscle. Number one is to twist your arms so that you show the backs of your hands and the backs of your arms. So if you try that and look in the mirror, ooh, if you really squeeze it, you'll see at last this muscle come up. So in order to combine the movement of the shoulder and the elbow with this twisting motion, I picked up some weights, and these are 8, and have developed this idea for me, which is to push. The pushing motion along with the twisting motion is I do this exercise every single time, no matter if it's just my workout or if I'm watching someone else's workout. And I make sure that I pick up my weights and I get this one in because I think this is the secret of my success. So we're going to do 3 sets of 10 of these. So make sure that your knees are bent and engage your core. I think of pulling my stomach in and up, shoulders down and back, and remember to breathe.
Remember to exhale on effort. Keep your elbows high and exhale as your hands go out. Concentrate on twisting the backs of your hands forward and pushing out with the weights.
Good. Shake that out just for a second. I'm not using a timer right now, but I do find I like the interval timer because in my rest period, it keeps me going, it prevents me from getting distracted, starting to fold laundry or check my email or see who texted me. So, timer. Okay, I think I could do 10 more with the 8s. Here we go. Remember to breathe.
Again, think about keeping your elbows high. It gets harder with each set, pushing and twisting. And also make sure that you control the weights on the way back. Never let them swing. You get benefit on the way up and on the way out.
Good. So when I was younger, I did not ever use weights. I think that I had younger muscle tone. I hadn't had hormonal changes, and it hadn't been so many years since I used these muscles back here. And I found that if I used weights, my arms were getting bigger, and I didn't want them to be bigger. So it took me a while at this stage of my life to realize, well, that was when you were younger or you had a different kind of muscle tone. These days, I really found that I need the weights, and made all the difference. So one more set of 10. Keep your stomach tight, feel the power, and
one more benefit of the weights is that they do boost your metabolism. They burn fat, and they will give you a longer burn than with cardio exercise, which is good. But cardio will also burn muscle, where weight work burns only fat.
good. Very good. Okay. I feel tighter already. For our next exercise, we're going to lie down on the floor. I'm going to start with 8s, but this one is difficult for me, so I may need to go down. You can bend your knees. It's very important as we're going to lift our weights over our head, but as they come back and trying to hold up those weights, you don't let the small of your back come off the floor. So I will lift my legs up into the air to counterbalance these weights going over my head. So again, move slowly, control the motion, and move at your own pace if you need to start without weights, but you will really make the connection between your brain and the very top of this muscle right here. That's where you want to feel it. So I connect to the weights up here for stability, and breathe.
Make sure that you do not release the weights as they're overhead I touch the floor every time, but you have to keep your muscles engaged. Less chance of injury or pulling something. Make sure that you are in control of the weights all the time. Move slowly, and that you are working with the proper weights for your ability. Should not be painful in your shoulders. Just really get a good burn in the armpits. Keep the small of the back pressed to the floor. Breathe on the way up. Exhale on the way forward.
Oh, good. That's a tough one. Good. Stretch it out. Take a minute to breathe. If I'm feeling really ambitious in my break time, I will do some crunches while I'm down here on the floor. I am going to go to the lighter weights. These are my thrift store weights. Different colors, but they're both 5 pounds. So here we go again. Remember to breathe and think about your armpits.
Now remember that you cannot burn fat in a specific area. You can't target your arms for reducing fat in that one place, but you can boost your metabolism overall, which will help burn fat. And you can lift that area that's sagging by tightening up the muscles underneath, and it will look tighter, firmer, more toned, kind of slimmer there by strengthening the muscles. So you want to also reduce fat in your diet, but increase protein to feed your muscles.
2 sets. One more set to go. Oh, my arms feel so light when I put the weights down. Good. I'm really feeling this right here. Exactly where we want to reach. Okay, one more set. Here we go. And breathe.
So remember, there's no magic trick to getting slimmer arms, it takes hard work, determination, it takes proper diet, and regular exercise. These spot toning exercises are extremely effective to tightening up. I work out for my arms. I aim for 4 times a week. If I don't have time to do the entire workout, I will always do the push-ups. So it takes this kind of determination to get toned arms.
We did it. Good. Feel my armpits getting tighter already. Now, the last exercise that we're going to do works on the principle that you do want to work your muscles all the way around your arm. We are focusing on this one right here, but there's also a lot of value to the idea of pumping up your bicep, because it also will blow up your arm kind of like a balloon and lift it from the top. So you're filling up this muscle from the top, pulling everything in the opposite direction. So I'm going to do some biceps with, I want to do 10 pounds, so I'm going to hold two weights in one hand. And we can also get a workout on our glutes by taking a nice big sumo squat here. And as you bend down, make sure that your feet are wide enough that your knees don't go past your toes. You want your knees to be right over your ankles. Use your glutes, keep them engaged the whole time, and support with your core. I'm going to use my knee to support this weight and bicep curls.
Again, make sure that you keep your muscles engaged all the way to the bottom of the motion. Do not release the weights with your elbow extended. That will hyperextend your elbow. So keep working into those beautiful biceps. You are reversing the effects of aging, rejuvenating your cells.
Good.
Good job.
Feel powerful. Stretch that out. We're just going to do one more set of 10 on the other side. Again, you don't have to do the squat, but I find it's like adds to my overall fitness. And we curl.
Remember, when you're working out, we are not trying to regain our youth, but we're going to retain vitality and extend that into our future. Make sure you keep with it and feel great about your workout today. You're going to build on this and keep moving toward fitness. Beautiful arms, toned biceps, and tight triceps. Good work.
Good. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope that you learned a few things, that you got some benefit from my exercises that I shared, and most of all, I hope I was able to encourage you. Keep going, don't give up, keep kicking. We're still kicking here at this channel. If you like this video, please remember to hit the like, subscribe. It helps me out, and it doesn't cost you anything. It's not a paid subscription. So please remember to hit the subscribe button, share with friends if you like, and if you have a workout that you'd like to see or a video to request, be sure to leave me a comment below. Let me know how this workout worked for you. If you have any questions or suggestions, I'd be happy to hear from you. Thanks again, and have a great week. See you next time.